Welcome back to the channel. Now it seems as if the actions of the office of the DPP and the former leadership has again cast a shadow over the state. Now, a habeas corpus has been filed on behalf of Vybz Kartel and other co-accused, which is a writ requiring a person under arrest to be brought before a judge or into court. Now, as Isaac Buchanan pointed out, as it stands, Vybz Kartel is not convicted and not charged. Of course, I'm not going to hear from Isaac Buchanan, and they will continue reasoning. Look and listen.
The matter was set to be heard today. However, the judge was of the view that the Director of Public Prosecution is an interested party, as well as for the jurisprudence that proper submissions be put before the court by those parties. One can appreciate that the liberty of the men are left unanswered. The men are in no man's land as it is. One would call it la la land, one would be, it's a lacuna in the law where you're not convicted, you're not charged, but you're held in abeyance. I think in terms of where the law is, that the legislators would have needed to make certain amendments to account for a situation where a conviction is quashed, but the matter is not yet before the court.
Now, it seems as if the new DPP does not see a retrial in the Vybz Kartel matter as in the best interest of the state. Now, this new motion that has been filed was probably a surprise to the prosecution, seeing that the appeal court had already set a date to hear submissions and whether or not they themselves would decide if a retrial would be the process that the state would be going, or the courts would be going. Now, this new motion is saying that until that time, when they make them decision, since at the moment they are not charged or convicted, the attorneys are saying that they should be released. Now, this along with the fact that the Privy Council also said that money was to be paid back for legal fees for Vybz Kartel and all other co-accused whose case was brought before the Privy Council. That would be Vybz Kartel, Sean Sam, Madsus and Cairo. That are money for 4 people. Some people have said it's as if since the DPP has been changed, the place is under new leadership. And as we know, with anything, any company, any business, even the government, when a new government takes over, a new party is elected, people that work within the Ministry of Education and other ministries still work there. It's just that there is a new minister from a different party. So, while it is the same entity, the direction, seeing that there's no new leadership, is somewhat different. Ambitions are different. Goals are different. Way to achieve certain things might be different. Of course, they're going to follow the procedure. That is procedure. But just their hopes and ambitions might be different from their predecessors. That was seen in government, that was seen in companies, that was seen in business, that was seen all over. So maybe the same thing happen now. Maybe this new DPP doesn't want a retrial. The thing is procedure, the law is the law. And the way this was always set to play out is that submissions would be made, the appeal court would hear them, and then a decision would be made by said appeal court. So it wasn't necessarily a thing where the prosecution could just say, we don't want a retrial. The Privy Council did not say, send back the case to the prosecution. No. That was not what was stated. What was stated is that send the case back to the appeal court, not to the office of the Department of Public Prosecution. So whether or not the Department of Public Prosecution wants a retrial, this is how the process still have to play out. The decision still has to be made by the appeal court. And truth be told, even if they don't want to prosecute, if the appeal court say, yes, retrial, they may have to do it, even if they not something they want to do. Or even if it's not something that they thought was in the best interest, they have to do their job, which is to, prosecute. So with that being said, this is all speculation. We have seen no clear indication from the new DPP that they don't want a retrial. It's just that seeing that motions like these are being filed, and I think basically what Isaac Buchanan says that, again, prosecution will have to be involved in this process too. So I guess we'll hear what the prosecutor say, and this will probably be an indicator in the direction, or the thoughts of the new DPP, or at least the thoughts of the office. So I could say, that's what really go on. The attorneys have long said that they believe a retrial is a waste of time. Some people believe that even the evidence that was used to convict Vybz Kartel in this day and age, they don't say if they don't think any jury would have convict based upon that. Some people still believe that maybe what took place with the jury, the same reason why the convictions were overturned, was the reason why the jury decided to say guilty. It was that whole fiasco within itself which made them say guilty. Some people still not believe it was based on the evidence, because people believe that there was none. Some people say the text messages that were presented was evidence enough. Some people point out that, remember, experts from overseas found out and tested the mobile devices and said there was no way the evidence could be extracted the way the state said it was initially extracted. You have to factor in that. If there's a retrial, this new information will be presented. For those not in the know, the conviction given was based on said evidence. For those not in the know, the appeal court upheld the initial court conviction based on cell phone evidence. If before the case was brought to the Privy Council, overseas experts examined the device and refuted the claims that the way the evidence was presented, can that same evidence be used again to convict when now there's clearer defense motions against that piece of evidence? And I guess that is why some people are saying it would be a waste of time. There's no new evidence, no new information. There was never any forensics and never any body. Then with all of the other high profile cases being put before the court, no. What you think? Do you think the state want to focus on a retrial for Vybz Kartel? We have a whole heap of other high profile cases. Bert Samuels, they already point out, say, him not think a retrial will be granted. But some people did misinterpret that it as is him saying the prosecution would not be trying for a retrial. But now that we have more information, clearly what Bert Samuels was really saying is that the appeal court would not be granting any retrial. And most people did misinterpret that information. They feel like, say, what Isaac Buchanan, Bert Samuels, and the attorneys that say was pertaining to the prosecution. It was never pertaining to the prosecution. At that time, the then DPP did already say, and we did hear it when the attorney representing the prosecution did say it at the Privy Council. If the Privy Council decided to quash the murder conviction, they wanted the retrial. So when you hear the attorneys that say you don't think a retrial will be granted, I could have never, because the prosecution now go want none. At that time, the then DPP said, of course, they wanted the retrial. So I did, based on the fact that they don't believe, say, the appeal court I go grant it. And now, attorneys that say, until the appeal court decide what they might decide, Vybz Kartel should be released. Tell me what you think. Of course, if you're new to the channel, you just have to pass through, click the subscribe icon, and then the bell icon, and of course, put it on all. And this is how you know we'll be notified of all fresh content as soon as the fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and bust a share, and tell a friend, tell them sister, and them brother them. For check out the channel, check out the reason, and also join the discussion. The comment section open 24/7. It never lack it. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and yes, your opinions there. And we can continue reasoning via the comment section. Now, a quick recap. Attorneys representing Vybz Kartel is basically saying to the court, at this moment, Vybz Kartel and the co-accused are not charged or convicted since the murder conviction was quashed and the case was sent back to the appeal court. So at the moment as it stands, there are individuals that are not convicted or charged but still behind the bars. Attorneys are saying that they should be released until, them go to the appeal court and the appeal court makes their decision. Until the reason again, of course, my sentiments for you and yours are for to live, love, and prosper, and for to stay tuned.